you've heard me say on these calls over and over, and I say it because I believe it, not just because it's cliche. We literally have the best team in not only in the Alliance, but in the entire industry for what we do. We literally have, I mean, just looking at these names here, I'm so proud of not only those that are making the time to be on this call here tonight, but I'm looking at some of these names and just seeing the growth and the progress from the last several months, being brand new, never licensed before, just went and got an insurance license and said, hey, teach me, tell me what to do, and I'm going to go out and do it. I mean, Nick Greco, Mike Guerra, Mallory Barnes, Rachel Midtune. I mean, just there's people on here that literally months ago were just sitting there at nighttime, putting their kids to bed, and get down on their knees and just begging God for an opportunity, and just not knowing what was out there, but knowing, hey, God, if you'll just show me what's available, what can I do? I just need an opportunity, point me in the right direction. And that's where I was 11 years ago when I found the Alliance, or when the Alliance found me. I wasn't afraid of working. I wasn't afraid of learning something new or getting uncomfortable. It was just, I needed an opportunity that I could go provide for a family, be able to go out and ultimately do what I wanted to do in helping people, but be financially prosperous through doing that. And that's what I found here at the Alliance 11 years ago. And forever I'll be grateful for that. That's why I recruit. That's why I share this opportunity with others, is because I know what this business has done for me and my family. And I know the impact that it's had on us, it positively, financially, freedom of time, making a difference in people's lives, being able to travel the world. And it's just, I can't imagine doing anything else. And like I said, I'm forever grateful, first and foremost to the Lord for providing this opportunity for me at a time when I was praying, when I was begging, when I was searching. And I'm thankful for those that introduced it to me when I needed it. So don't ever be afraid to talk to somebody about what we do, whether it's a server at a restaurant, whether it's a flight attendant on a plane, whether it's an old high school classmate, somebody that you run into that you hadn't seen in a while. Don't be afraid to share with them what we do, and then point them to, if you're brand new, point them to somebody that can explain it more, or kind of give the nuts and bolts to it. It's so important the opportunity that's there, and the opportunity that people need, but many people will never find it, never hear about it. A lot of times it's because we're sitting on it. We're just afraid to say something, or we're afraid to think, well, they know I've tried other stuff in the past that didn't pan out, and they probably just won't, take me seriously or whatever. Set all that aside, set your pride aside, and just, hey, there's people out there that need what we have. I'm going to share it with them. And then it's up to them to decide whether they want to move forward with it or not. If they decide no, it's on them. It's not that they missed it because I was too, they just probably will think I'm just onto something else, or they probably wouldn't be good at this, or they wouldn't want to do something like this. Don't make that decision for them. Let them be the ones to make that decision. So, Mike, to your point, definitely excited to meet a bunch of y'all coming up in Houston, here in the next month or so. Guys, go out and kill it. Go out and kill it. Don't let the fear of the unknown, don't let the uncertainty, don't let being uncomfortable hold you back from what you're capable of doing. Years ago when I first started, one thing I heard Steven say all the time, Andy Albright said it, a lot of just, I heard it over and over in this business, was you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Most people default back to what's comfortable, or they try and run to what's comfortable, because when you're trying something new, when you're along with the newness of something comes uncertainty, comes embarrassment at times. And so you get uncomfortable with learning something new, with, oh no, they asked me something I don't know. Now I'm supposed to be the expert. I feel awkward. You've got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's just part of what we do. And here's the crazy thing. The way that works is, the more you get comfortable with being uncomfortable, the more comfortable you'll get at it. And that level of discomfort diminishes. Because you become more familiar, more knowledgeable with it. And I've used this example before, but any of y'all that have started a job at any point in time in your life, whether you were fresh out of college, before college, 20 years down the road, you started a new career, a new job. There was a lot of stuff you didn't know and you had to learn it. And through the learning process, you had somebody or some bodies that you were relying on to help teach and guide and train you into what you were supposed to do. And during that time, when you were learning, there were answers that you didn't know, but you didn't think, well, I don't know this, so I'm just going to quit and give up and go find something that I do know. No, you knew, hey, there's a level of training, there's a level of learning stuff that I'm not familiar with that I have to become acclimated and accustomed to. And it's part of what I do. And if I do that and get real efficient at it, they're going to keep me on, they're going to pay me more. And it's a win-win for everybody. But it's funny to me how so many agents will come into an opportunity like this and assume, well, I'm uncomfortable. I don't know this. I'm not sure about this. Well, this person who's been doing it for a long time, they're really good at it. Yeah, they've been doing it for a while. They've learned it. You can't expect to be at their level. You got to know, you got to go through the process. You got to learn it just like they did at one point in time. So all that to say, when you're feeling that level of uncomfortableness, discomfort, you're in the right place. And you have two options: keep pushing through, or, well, no, don't like that feeling, I'm going to go back to what's comfortable. And let's be fair, where has what's comfortable gotten you to this point? So anyways, I'm not going to go down a rabbit trail on that, but yeah, definitely looking forward to meeting y'all. $7,500 in issue paid business in a month is literally 8 families. Literally 8 families. That's 2 families a week. 2 families a week. It's not hard if you're willing to get the help that you need. If you're willing to stay consistent with the activity, you're going to do it, and you're going to crush that goal. And then we're all going to be partying in Houston together. So 40, 50 something people on this phone call. There's not a reason in this world why nobody on here should not be in Houston. So come on, come join us. It's going to be awesome. Elliot's crazy. If you don't like crazy, then those of us that aren't as crazy, come hang out with us. But it's going to be awesome. All right. So tonight, Mike wanted me to do some additional training stuff that we've kind of touched on in the past a little bit, maybe give some more specific examples. Objections on the phone and in the home. And before I get into that, one just quick nugget, if you will. Most of y'all that are on this call have just joined us within the last few months, for sure within the last year. As you do this business, create a clientele base from the leads, from warm market, whatever, referrals. As your business grows, it is absolutely essential that you stay in touch with your clients. And if you've brought agents into the business that made a few sales, and then for whatever reason decided, I just don't want to do this anymore, or this was just a bridge to get me back to what I eventually wanted to do, stay in touch with those, we call them orphan clients. So let's say, just using an example, Nick brought Mike into the business. If for whatever reason, I know he won't, but if for whatever reason Mike decided, you know what, insurance isn't for me, I'm going to go play professional golf somewhere, professional ping pong, whatever, and he decided he wasn't doing insurance anymore, it's Nick's responsibility to make sure he's staying in touch with Mike's clients, and making sure they're taken care of, because now that Mike's gone, those clients still need to be serviced, and now they're Nick's responsibility. And it's easy to think, well, I'm busy enough where I'm at, or whether it's your downline orphan clients or whether it's your clients yourself that you wrote a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, stay in touch with them, guys. You would be shocked at the number of additional sales that just staying in touch with your clients will lead to. And here's why. The average insurance agent lasts in the business 8 months or less. 8 months or less. So if you've been here longer than 8 months, congratulations, you're above average. If you're brand new, stick it out 8 months and you'll be here longer than average. Why? Most agencies, most organizations require that when you come into the business and you got your insurance license, they want you to bring all your warm market to them, your list of 200 friends and family, 300 friends and family. And those are the people you have to start calling through and dialing and seeing if they want insurance, or, hey, can I come look at your insurance, blah, 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 blah. One of the things we promote is the fact that we have a lead system, so you don't have to go bug all your friends and family right out the gate like you do with most multi-level marketing organizations or sales. And so you come into the business, you got this list of clients that you've built through the leads, through the sales, and you have to continue to follow up with them. We teach annual reviews. We teach how to go do policy reviews. And it's absolutely essential that you do that, because the average agent, if they last longer than the 8 months or not, hear me out when I say this, most agents will make a sale and then never, ever, ever follow up with that client again. Why? Well, I got new leads coming in, or I've got more people asking for help, so I got to go focus on them and I got to go make more sales. Oh, I already sold them. They're good. I sold them a policy 2 years ago. They're fine. Like, why would I need to go follow? You will be missing out on ample opportunities for new sales, for referrals, for clients for life, if you don't take the time to follow up with these orphan clients from your downline or your own clients that you've already written. And I could do a whole nother separate training, and eventually probably will, on the topic of current clients and touching base, doing annual reviews with your clients and your orphan clients. And I'm just going to give you one quick example before we jump into the actual training on objections. And the reason why I'm saying this is, one, because it's so new, it literally just happened. But number two, even as a seasoned agent that's been in the business for 10, 11 years, it's easy to kind of overlook or forget stuff that's basic and essential, that needs to be taught. That it's just something that to me is secondhand. I don't really even think about it a whole lot because I've been doing it for so long. So long story short, 3 weeks ago, a former agent of mine that worked with us for probably 2 months, made, I think, 2 sales off of leads. She reached out to me. Her name was Caitlin. And Caitlin reaches out to me and she says, Mark, hey, I don't know if you remember me. I did insurance with you a couple years ago, a little bit. I have a client. Her name's Allison. And she reached out to me. She's got questions about her policy. Can you follow up with her? Obviously, I'm not doing the business anymore. So I said, yep, sure. Follow up with you. I followed up with this lady named Allison. And come to find out, in the 3 years that Caitlin had sold her a policy with Columbian Life, at the time, she took out what she could afford on her budget. And in the last 3 years since then, she's taken out 3 different policies with 3 totally different companies and 3 totally different agents. And a couple of those policies were graded policies, and she had no business being on a graded plan that had a 2-year wait. So when I called Allison, I said, hey, listen, Caitlin asked me to follow up with you. She helped you about 3 years ago with a policy with Columbian Life, blah, blah, blah. Listen, she's not with us anymore. I'm going to take care of you, make sure everything's in order. And Allison was like, yep, I just needed to get my bank information changed. I said, okay, Allison, we can definitely take care of that. Listen, since the last 3 years that you sat with Caitlin and she helped you with that coverage, have you taken out any other life insurance since then? Very reasonable, basic question. And she said, well, yeah, actually I have. I've taken out several. And I said, Allison, here's the deal. Just like Caitlin took care of you 3 years ago, I was her manager. She's not with us anymore. I'm going to be taking care of you, making sure everything's in order. I'm going to come out. We're going to get the banking information squared away, and we're going to just look over everything and make sure it's the best options available for you. She said, absolutely. Went out the next day, and when I found out what she was paying on, guys, I'm telling you, people are out there buying crappy life insurance, and they don't know any better because they don't have that agent that they know they can depend on, that's going to be there, that's going to take care of them for the rest of their life. And long story short, it turned into a $202 a month sale for me, because she's paying on 4 different policies, and the combined total that she was paying on, she was actually paying $202 a month, and it was less coverage than what we were able to get her. And some of that coverage still had a 2-year wait on it because she had just recently taken it out and had no business being on a policy that had a 2-year waiting period. She just didn't know any better. Here's the deal. Caitlin leaves, she goes back to do her career. Nobody follows up with her downline, or I'm sorry, her current clients. There's a current client that knew Caitlin wasn't in the business anymore and went and tried to find insurance wherever else she could find it. And the reality is, most of what people go to is not near as good as the options that you and I have to help them with. We literally, and I will say this till I'm blue in the face, till the day I die, we have the best life insurance products out there eligible for anybody out there. We've got the best. So at the end of the day, if our current clients or our orphan clients through agents that we've hired in the past and are no longer with us, if we're not following up with them and just making sure that we're staying on top of the best options for them, we're doing them a disservice and we're missing out on opportunities to better our situation, our family situation. So my point being is, here's 4 policies that this lady was paying on. Some of them are companies that we actually represent, but there were better options out there than what she had. And just making that phone call, going and sitting with her last week and taking a look at what she had, we were able to improve her situation, and it was a win-win for everybody across the board. So as you are building your book of business, whether you're brand new, whether you've been with us 6 months, whether you've been with us 6 years, as you're building that book of business, just know, hey, listen, it is your responsibility and your financial benefit and your client's overall benefit to make sure that you're staying in touch with your clients, doing policy reviews, making sure, hey, I sold them a year ago, 2 years ago. I need to touch base with them, making sure they're not trying to get extra coverage and they forgot about me and they're just finding it wherever they can get it. So again, we can do a whole different training focused strictly on annual reviews, current clients, but I'm telling you right now, make sure that you're staying in touch with those clients for sure. All right. So 15, 20 minutes here, we're going to really crush doing handling objections. I'm going to talk a little bit about the objections on the phone, but I'm going to focus more on the in-home. Here's the thing, guys. I get questions all the time. What do you say when somebody says this, whether it's an in-home objection or whether it's on the phone objection? What do you say when somebody says this? And at the end of the day, I'm going to say it this way and just take my word for it and then take the training and run with it. It's not so much what you say as much as how you say it, the manner, the demeanor, the tone, the voice inflections on how you say it. Because at the end of the day, people, we say it all the time, people love to buy, but they hate to be sold. And they've talked to a lot of different insurance agents. And if you come on the phone or in the home and you're talking about beating prices, getting you better rates, saving you money, Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, all that, it screams to them, salesman, saleswoman, insurance person, don't want, stay away. And they're putting a wall up before you even get a fair chance to talk to them. Well, that's not what I meant. Right. It's not what you meant, but it's what you said. It's the way you said it. And it immediately puts that wall up. So when you call somebody and you talk to somebody on the phone, you literally have less than 3 to 4 seconds to sound different than everybody else out there that's talked to them. And some of the training we've done on videos, I encourage you to go back and watch, but from the time you pick up the phone and you dial and they answer the phone, the way you open your mouth and start to talk is going to determine, am I going to get in the home for an appointment, or do they think I'm another insurance salesperson, and are they going to hang up on me? So back to basics here. When you pick up the phone and you make that phone call and they answer, and their name, and I'm just going to pull the first lead I got sitting here on my desk, Linda Eastlick. When she answers the phone, it's not, hey, is this Linda? Or hey, Miss Eastlick? It's not that. If you're in the South, well, I'm being polite. That's what I was taught to do in the South. You can be polite without saying Miss So-and-so. All right, just trust me. I'm as Southern as they come, backwoods, Raven County, Georgia, country born and bred. Taught Mr. and Mrs. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I still do that. But when you're on the phone with a client, she answers the phone, Linda. It's not Miss Eastlick. Is this Linda? It's that's salesy. When she answers the phone, you want that tone of familiarity. So Linda. And then she's thinking, well, how does this person know me? I don't recognize the voice. And while she's thinking all that, you're in control from the conversation. So if you will do that on the phone, and I'm not going to go through the whole phone script training on this call. We've got other trainings in the past that we've done, and we'll do more on that. But if you will sound different than every other insurance person that has ever called that individual, I'm telling you right now, you will get in the home. You will get in the home. You have to sound different, and sounding different means you don't sound salesy. So most of us call a brand new person. We want to say, hey, is this Linda? Well, you're calling Linda's phone. So the odds are extremely high that you're talking to Linda if a female answers the phone. All right, take my word for it. extremely high odds. All right. So instead of saying, hey, is this Miss Linda or is this Linda? It's Linda. And there's that sense of familiarity. And while she's trying to figure out who the hell am I talking to, you can be like, Linda, hey, it's Mark over here at the Benefit Center in Greenville. I'm actually following up about that little postcard looking thing you sent in the mail. No other insurance agent says postcard looking thing. No insurance salesperson says postcard looking thing. Well, why do you say it? Well, you get away with it because you've been doing it a while. No, that's what I've said from the beginning. Why? Because I'm trying to sound different than everybody else. Mark, what's your point? My point is, if you sound different than everybody else they've talked to about life insurance, whether it's on the phone or whether it's in the home, if you're different than everybody else out there, they're going to listen to you. Why? Because you're different. When you sit there and you hear the same shit over and over and over again from telemarketers, from salespeople, you can spot it as soon as they call you and you answer the phone. It's almost to a point now where for me, it's a game. I will play that game when telemarketers call me. And the conversations I have would blow your mind as far as what I'll sit there if I have a few spare minutes and just have fun with these people because they're doing what they're taught to sound like a telemarketer and sound like a salesperson. We teach that differently. So here's my point. If you do it the way we teach it and you get uncomfortable or you get comfortable with being uncomfortable because it is uncomfortable, I'm telling you, the more you do it, the better you get at it. And the more people you're going to sit in front of, which results in more sales for you. So at the end of the day, it's not about what do you say when somebody says this. It's, Mark, how do you sound so different so that you're not getting those objections? Like when people say, hey, you need to train on objections. It's like, oh, I don't get objections really much anymore. Right. But when you did get them, train on how you, it's like, no. It's how you sound different and how you're different than everybody else leads to fewer objections. So I don't get a lot of the crap on. Every now and again, I'll get somebody that says that, oh, well, we've already got that taken care of, maybe on an older lead or whatever, but there's still ways to handle those objections where you sound differently than everybody else. And that's my whole premise, whether you're on the phone or whether you're in the home, you have to sound and be different than everybody else that they've ever talked to. So you get the appointment booked because you sound differently. Again, it's not so much what you say. There's phone scripts about, hey, when somebody says this, if you'll say this, it's going to get you on the right track towards handling that objection. But at the end of the day, you have to sound differently than everybody else. Well, how do you do that? I don't use sales language. I don't ask questions with tones that go up at the end, like, hey, is this Miss Linda? Or, hey, are you interested in seeing if we can beat your rates? Like, I don't use language like that, and I don't use tone like that. They sent a card in, they sent a form in. My job is real simple. I've just got to get the information out that they requested so that I can get their file closed out. Well, what if they've already got it taken care of? Hey, you're right. That's what I'm showing here. I'm showing here that you got this taken care of and the new options just came out. Your file's actually still open. I've just got to get that information to you and get your file closed out. What time do you have, or I'm sorry, you don't have any doctor's appointments during the day tomorrow, do you? It's mundane, it's monotonous. It's almost like, hey, you bothered me. I'm not bothering you. You bothered me by sending this card in, and now you actually put work on my plate that I have to go out and do now. Because my manager's saying, I got to get this information to you, and you bothered me with it. If you didn't send this card in, I'd be sitting there picking my fingernails behind my desk waiting for something to do. That's the mentality that you want people to get when you're on the phone with them. Not all excited that they answered the phone, or all excited that they remember filling the card out, or all excited that they got something and you think you can beat their rates. We don't beat rates. We help families get the coverage that they need, and we have the best options. We don't beat rates. We get in front of people so that we show them how we can improve their situation. We don't beat rates. So when you talk about, can I beat or can I show you some other options to see if I can save you some money or to see if I can beat your prices, you'll never hear me say that on the phone. You'll never hear me say it in the home. So why are you sitting there saying that on the phone? Why are you sitting there saying that in the home? And agents will listen to me dial. They'll watch me run appointments, and they'll be like, man, you make it look so easy, but they're not focused and paying attention to what am I doing different than what you've been struggling with? What am I doing different that insurance agents are having a hard time with, or insurance salespeople are having a hard time with? It's just, well, you just make it look so easy. Right. Because I got comfortable with being uncomfortable. I got the crap beat out of me, and I got back up and just kept going back and doing it. And I kept asking questions and learning how to get better. Freaking Rachel, man, is like submitting 15, 20,000 in a month now. Why? Because she blew my freaking phone up and said, hey, don't have time to chit chat. Don't have time to small talk. Like, dude, what are you doing? How do you say this? I sat with a client. This happened. What would you have done? She's blowing my phone up. And she's taking what she's being taught and she's going out and working. Nick did the same thing. He blew my phone up. Like, dude, what are you doing? What are you saying? Hear me. They asked for help on the phone, but they also got on these calls. They took notes. They implemented what they were being taught, and they went to work and they put the numbers in. Take the knowledge and go to freaking work. It's that simple. Learn and go apply it. Guess what? You're going to mess up. You're going to F it up. You're going to screw it up big time. Get back up, get better, and go do it again. And I'm telling you, when you do that, this thing works. And it works to the point where it's just like, you don't even have to second guess or think about, well, where do we get the money for this? How do we pay for it? Because the money's coming in because you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. The crazy thing is you're not working 40, 50 hours a week for a boss telling you you're worth 25 bucks an hour to them. You get to determine how much you're worth. You get to determine your family's lifestyle. You get to determine the amount of effort that, or the amount of hours that you put into something, if you'll get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And the key is just, hey, what would an insurance person say? Now I need to say either the opposite or something totally different. Here's the deal. Connect with the client. Connect with the client, whether it's on the phone, in the home, connect with them. Get them to like you, get them to think, hey, this is somebody that I need to listen to, somebody that I need to talk to more. And the way you do that is by making sure that these clients know, hey, you're not an insurance salesperson. You're not somebody that's just coming in trying to beat a price. They have to know that you're different from everybody else, because if they don't think you're different, they're not going to give you the time of day. They're going to do to you what they've done to everybody else. It's not so much what you say as it is how you say it, how your tone is, and how you're coming across to people. And if you're connecting with them, you're going to help them see, hey, listen, I need to understand this person. I need to listen to what they have to say, because they're different from everybody else that I've ever talked to. So on the phone, it's just sounding different. It's not asking, hey, do you hear? When an agent tells me, yeah, I asked them, I was on the phone and I asked them when was a good time to come out there. You ever had your doctor's office ask you when was a good time for you to come in and see them? No. When your doctor's office says, hey, listen, we've got a time available at 9:30 a.m. on 2 Wednesdays from now, whatever day that is, that's when we're going to schedule you. You didn't sit there and say, let me get back with you and see if that works. No, you cleared your schedule because the doctor's busy and the doctor said this is what worked for them. The doctor's the professional. The doctor needs to make sure that you're good, you're okay. You clear your schedule when he tells you to, or she tells you to. You don't sit there and barter back and forth. Hey, when's a good time for you? That's right in my bowling hour. Can we do it a little bit later in the? No, you clear your schedule to go see the doctor because it's important to you. And it's the same thing with your clients, man. You're the financial expert. You're the insurance professional. You have to maintain that control, and you have to help them say, hey, look, here's what's got to happen. It's simple. We'll keep it basic. It's simple, but here's what needs to happen, blah, blah, blah. You have to maintain that control. Insurance people ask if it's okay to come try and beat a price. Insurance people ask if it's okay to come see you at 10 in the morning. Insurance people ask what time is good for you. You'll never hear me say that in any way, shape, or form on any phone call booking an appointment. It's very simple. State who you are, why you're calling, and what you have to do. And you tell them when you're going to be out there. And the one question that you ask them, the one or two questions that you ask them, hey, what time do you typically get off work? Or do you have any doctor's appointments during the day tomorrow? That's it. You don't say what time's good for you. Hey, are you free at such and you don't say that. You tell them, hey, when they tell you, hey, no, I don't have any doctor's appointments tomorrow. Okay, grab a pen and a paper real quick. I'm going to swing by around 10:30 tomorrow morning. Guess what? If they can't be there around 10 or 10:30, they're going to tell you. But if you ask them if 10 or 10:30 works, or if you ask them if the morning works, guess what? It's never going to work because people don't want to be sold. They don't want to be bothered. You're the expert. They sent the card in. It's your job to get the information out to them, and your job is to tell them when you're coming out. And if that time doesn't work for them, they will tell you, I got to go pick up the kids in the car line, or I got to go take my granddaughter to the dentist tomorrow at that time. I'll be home around 12. Awesome. I don't have anything right at 12. I'm going to schedule you between 1 and 1:30. Do you have a pen and a paper close by? Grab a pen and a paper real quick. You're sounding different than everybody else. And when you're in the home, guys, it's the same thing. Too many agents try and come in the home with the mindset of, I got to make a sale and I'm going to try and convince them to buy this. I got to make a sale. I'm going to convince them they need to buy this. And that's totally salesy. You need to come in with the mindset they're going to get the insurance that they've asked for. That's a done deal. They're going to get it. I've got to connect with them and I've got to create a solution. I've got to connect with them and I've got to create a solution. You're not trying to convince them about anything. You're not trying to make a sale. That's not what we do. That's what insurance salespeople do. You've got to connect with them and you've got to create a solution. Why? Why do you need to create a solution? Because they got a freaking need. They've got a concern. They took the time to fill a freaking card out that came in the mail, and they walked to their mailbox and they put it back in there and they flipped the little red flaggy thing up on the mailbox and said, hey, need something. Somebody needs to follow up with me. And that somebody's you, not an insurance salesperson. It's you. And your job is to connect with them and your job is to create a solution to them. That's what we do. And in order to do that, you have to be different from the insurance salespeople that are trying to make a sale and trying to convince them to buy something. It's two totally different thought processes and two totally different mindsets. And I get it, as a brand new agent, you're thinking, what do I say to make a sale? It's not about what you say. It's not about making a sale. It's about how you say it, building the value, connecting with them, and meeting a need. It's that simple. And if you go in with the mindset of, hey, they're going to get this because they've asked for it, they need it. It's just my job to connect with them and my job to create a solution for the need that they have. If you'll do that, instead of focusing on making a sale or trying to convince them into something, your numbers will skyrocket through the roof. And the better you get at it, the more uncomfortable you get at it, the better you're going to be. So when you're in the home talking to the client, you've met them at the front door, your job from the time that you get in front of them, essentially it happens on the phone call before, but we're in the home now. Your job is to connect with them, is to relate to them. Why? Because people do business with people that they like and they trust. So you have to relate to them. You have to be relatable. People, if they don't connect with you, if they don't relate to you, they're not buying from you. They're going to wait until they find somebody that they connect with. And if you're trying to sell, they're going to wait till they find somebody that's different or somebody that's more relatable to them. You've got to connect with people. Once you've connected, how do you connect with people, Mark? You open your mouth and you talk to them. You ask questions. People love to talk about themselves. Ask them questions about themselves. Ask them questions about their family. Compliment them on their house. Compliment them on their yard. I don't care if it looks like shit. Compliment them on it. Find something positive to say. Well, I don't. Well, quit being such a negative person and start looking for the positive and stuff. You don't have to blow smoke up their ass. You just got to be real and find something to compliment, something that they can relate to, and get them talking about it. Connect to them. If you can make them laugh, make them laugh. People love to laugh. We're in a crappy situation in the world right now. We've been for some time now. People need more joy. They need more laughter. They need more genuineness. Connect with people. Get over yourself and quit being so focused on, I got to make a sale, and focus on, How can I make this person feel better about themselves? And how can I meet the need that they have? You've got the best resources in America to help them. The question is, do they like you? Do they trust you? Do they want you to be the one to help them take care and meet that need? Or do they think that you're just going to be another insurance salesperson that's trying to sell them something from the other 15 people that they've talked to over the last 10 years? You have to be different. You've got to connect with these people and be relatable. And then as you connect with them, you have to help create a solution, construct a solution for them for the need that they have, and find out why they sent the card in, what was on their mind, who's going to be the person that's paying for all this if they don't have this taken care of, who's the one that's going to struggle when they die if they don't have this taken care of. And that leads to who's the one that's going to think mom was fantastic because she got this taken care of for me, so I didn't have to struggle with this. Dad left a legacy of making sure that everything was taken care of as far as his financial responsibility, because he took care of this, because somebody helped him, somebody that cared about him enough to let them help them. Some of the objections that people have asked me about specifically is, hey, what do you do when you got somebody that you're sitting there, you've connected with them, you've created the why, and they come back with, you know what, because of COVID, because of whatever, I'm laid off. I don't have any money coming in right now. I don't have any funds coming in. It's like, all right, you're sitting here in a house, you're either paying rent or you're paying for on a mortgage. In most cases, most people aren't living in a house that mom and dad gave them that was paid for, and they don't have to worry about any bills. When somebody tells me that, hey, I'm laid off or I don't have income coming in right now, remember what I said about being uncomfortable? Getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. You need to be the one to ask the questions like, hey, Mike, I know you said you don't have any income coming in right now. You're obviously got food on your table. The lights are still on here. Help me understand how these bills are being paid. Well, I am drawing a small unemployment check, blah, blah, blah. Or, so-and-so is giving me X amount per month just until I can help get back on my feet, blah, blah, blah. You're going to find out that they've got some sort of funds coming in to take care of the basics. And then it's your job to help them say, hey, look, $40, $50, $60 a month of that to help make sure your family's taken care of when you pass. Because here's the deal, Mike, these funds that you have coming in from this unemployment check, or this family member that's helping you out in a bind right now and giving you the funds to cover your basic bills, you pass away without any insurance, your family, your wife, your kids, all of a sudden that unemployment check is gone. Like when you die, they don't keep paying your family your unemployment check. Your family member that's helping out, their first thought isn't, let me just keep stroking that check for everybody else that was dependent on Mike. So your idea, your job is to help them understand, hey, I understand that your resources may be limited right now, but we still have to find room in that budget so that if what is going to happen, death, happens sooner than later, your family is still provided for and taken care of with the life insurance benefit that's going to pay out. Because at the end of the day, and I could look at any one of y'all's budgets right now, and y'all are normal people. I'm a normal person. I could look at any budget of any of y'all on this call right now, and I could sit there and say, wait a minute, where's your life insurance? Well, I actually don't have it. All right, but you're paying for this, you're paying for this, you're paying for this, and you're not paying for life insurance. And I could convince any one of y'all, I could show any one of y'all, hey, you're paying for these three things right here and no life insurance. Those three things could easily be gone when the value of life insurance was there and you knew, hey, we need this, we've got to have this. I could easily show you how get rid of these things for now so that you got your life insurance in place. If it came to, hey, this is my budget's maxed out and this is everything I'm paying on, hands down, I could show you several things that could go out of that budget so that you could get your life insurance in place. At the end of the day, it's creating that answer, that solution for the need that's there. So when they say they need insurance and then they say, well, I don't have income coming in, you haven't connected with them, you haven't related to them, you haven't built that that relationship, that connection there that makes them feel like this is somebody that I trust to help me and my family. When you do that, you will help them find spots in their budget that they can eliminate to get life insurance in place. Because I'm telling you, if they really believed in their mind, if they really believed that I don't have any extra room in my budget for more or for life insurance in general, they're not filling a card out and sending it in and trying to get that information. The reality is they need it. They know they need it. They're asking for it. It's up to you to connect with them enough to where they know, hey, I trust this person to help me help my family, help me help make sure my family's taken care of. And that's where you have to be different than everybody else out there. So again, that whole, I don't have the funds right now, I'm laid off, I don't have money coming in. Dude, the lights are on here. You got food in your pantry. You've got a roof over your head. You're paying for current bills right now, whether it's a family member helping you out, whether it's an unemployment check, you're paying right now for these bills to these needs to be met. Where's that money coming from? And then it's your job to show them, to help them understand, hey, I've got to have some sort of financial protection, life insurance in place to take care of my family, because if I pass and this unemployment check's coming in or this family member's helping me out, that may not be there anymore. It won't be there anymore. There's got to be something that my family can still get that will help make sure they can still move forward with financially while they're adjusting to life without me. So those are just, that's one of the objections that somebody had asked about. Let's see, I already have enough money set aside for this. This is a common not common. This is something that you will hear when people say, oh yeah, when I die, I've got money in a savings account set aside for that. And one of the things I'll ask them, I'll compliment them. Again, I'll edify, build them up. I'll say, hey, listen, Mike, it's great that you thought ahead to set this money aside in this bank account for when you die. Let me ask you this. Is that the sole only purpose for the money in that account, to write a check for your burial, cremation, whatever, when you pass? Yep, that's what it's there for. I've been squirreling it away. That's what it's there for. Okay, I'm still going back to then, if you knew this was taken care of, why did you send this in? What was the concern? And guys, trust me on this. I'm telling you, if people are 100% convinced that they're good and taken care of and they don't need life insurance for that particular reason, whatever, they're not sending cards in. They're not. They may sit there and say shit like, well, I was missing out on some free government benefits, or I thought this, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, they know what it's about. I'm telling you, at the end of the day, they know what it's for. They're just looking for somebody that they can connect with, somebody that's relatable, somebody that they like and they trust, that can help them. And so once I've built that connection with them, I'll say, I edify them, Mike, hey, that's great that you set this money aside and saved up for this. So your daughter, Shonda, when you pass, she's supposed to just, like, her name's on the account, like what is she supposed to do to get this money to pay for your burial? Well, yeah, she's just gonna, she'll be the beneficiary of that account, and then she'll just write a check and blah, blah, blah. Mike, let me ask you this. If you knew that the funds were there to take care of that, then why send the card in? What's the purpose for this? And if he's connected and related to you, inevitably it's going to be, I just wanted to see what else was out there that might be a better option than this. And I'll ask them, I'll say, Mike, let me ask you this. You got how much sitting in that account? $15,000. So Shonda's going to take that account of $15,000 and she's covering your burial expenses with that. Yep. Mike, what if you knew that 15,000 could work more for Shonda than just the amount of money in the account? Well, what do you mean? Well, I mean this. What if that account pays for the life insurance, and a $15,000 policy that cost you $67 a month or $87 a month, that money in that account was paying the life insurance premium? When you die, the $15,000 life insurance policy pays out, and then Shonda still has the remaining money that's in that account that the premiums were being made out of. So now your $15,000 just turned into way more than just $15,000. Now your $15,000 turned into a $15,000 policy plus what was left in the account, no matter when you passed. I've never really thought of it like that before. Mike, most people don't. That's why I'm here, is to just say, hey, here's what your options are. Instead of saying, hey, all this money is set aside just to cover burial expenses, No, that money in the account is going to pay for a life insurance policy that's going to cover the burial expenses. There's still going to be some left from the life insurance policy, and there's still going to be some left that's what's in the account. I can guarantee you right now, 100%, there's not a situation in this world that I've ever encountered where somebody that has a savings account set aside for life insurance, or I'm sorry, for final expenses, burial coverage, whatever, there's not a situation in this world where that money was more beneficial taking care of all that than it would be paying for a life insurance policy that was going to take care of all that, have some left over from the life insurance death benefit, plus what was left over in the bank account. It's 100% way more efficient, more value for your money of what you're going to get than just saying, well, I've got money set aside in an account. And at the end of the day, if they really felt like I've got money set aside in a bank account to cover my final expenses, why the hell are they sending a form in that's talking about getting coverage to cover your final expenses? Because it's a smokescreen. These people want coverage, they need it, they're asking for it, but they're going to get it from somebody that they like and they trust. And again, that's your job. It's your responsibility to connect with these people so that they like and trust you. And then they're going to listen to what you have to say when it comes to options for life insurance or way to make their money work further for them. If you come in with the mindset, I've got to make a sale and I've got to convince them that they need to do this, you're dead in the water. You're already behind the 8 ball. You have to go in with the mindset, hey, this was a cry for help. I've got the resources to help them. I'm going to help them, but I need to ask questions and listen to them to find out what the need is. I've got to connect with them, and then I've got to create a solution. And guys, that is your MO. That is your mode of operation in every single home that you go into. I've got to connect with them, and I've got to create a solution for the need that they have. I'm not trying to make a sale. I'm not trying to convince them to buy anything. I've got to connect with them, and I've got to create a solution for the need that they have. And if you will go in with that mindset, I'm telling you, it will open up a whole new world of opportunity for you where people are like, yeah, I'm listening. What do you got? Like, how can you help me? They'll be more open to you making phone calls to me or your upline or whoever to get the answers and the solutions that you need. But if you go in with the mindset, I've got to make a sale, I need to convince them really, really good that they need what I have, you're dead in the water, because that's what every other insurance agent has come to do. And what you'll find out is these people have talked to other insurance agents in the past, and here they're giving you a chance. Why? Because no other insurance agent has met that need to their satisfaction. If they had, they wouldn't be calling you. They wouldn't be sending the cards in. Well, no, you just don't understand. Like, I just get weird people. There's weird people everywhere. But when they send the lead in, it's a cry for help. When they give you a bullshit objection, it's a cry for help. They're wanting somebody that's just going to be different than every other life insurance salesperson that they've ever talked to. And it's your job to be different. It's your job to show them, hey, you need to listen up and pay attention to what I'm saying, because I'm going to talk to you like nobody else has ever talked before. I'm going to come at you with solutions that nobody else has ever come at you before. Why? Because I give a shit about you. I care about you and your family. I care about what happens when you die. You're the one that reached out asking for help. And when you sent this form in, I'm sorry, but you're stuck with me. I'm your guy. I'm going to make sure you're taken care of. And that's the mentality that you have to have when you're going and sitting with these people. As a new agent, I get it. It's easy to think I got to make a sale. I got bills to pay. I need to make money. I've been struggling. Like, I just got to make a sale. And if I can just convince them, I'll make a sale. You're going about it all wrong. You got to go in with the mindset, I've got the solutions. I'm going to help them. They're asking for it. They're going to get the help that they need, but it's my job to connect with them. And it's my job to create a solution for them for the need that they've presented, that they've asked about. And I'm just telling you guys, like, if you will be different and sound different than every other insurance agent that they've ever talked to, they're going to be like, this is why I've held out. This is why I haven't been doing this. Or when I signed up and got a policy 2 years ago, I was just, all right, whatever, I need something, whatever. When you connect with people, when you relate to people, and then on top of that, you bring a solution for them, you create a solution for them, that's when your business is going to explode. Your business is going to skyrocket. And those people are going to be the ones to say, hey, need you to help me with this, need you to help my family with this. So going back to Allison, an orphan client from one of my downline agents a couple of years ago, we improved her situation, went out there on Wednesday Tuesday, and got her taken care of. Guess what happened Wednesday, I got a phone call from a client that I had written 2 years ago. His dad passed away. His dad took out a policy on him, on the son and on the mom. The dad, long story short, his health situation was bad to where what he had was already through a 2-year wait. We weren't touching his stuff. It was best for him. But I wrote a policy on the son and on the mother. The son calls me literally earlier this week, Wednesday, after I got Allison taken care of. The son calls me and said, Mark, hey, listen, I'm in a situation now where I want to increase my coverage. I want to take out something on my mom. She's got something herself, but knowing what she went through with my dad, I want to take out something on her as well. So if whatever happens and she drops her policy, lapses it, whatever situation happens and she don't got it no more, at least I got something to take care of her like we had for my dad when he passed. Oh, by the way, my sister needs some coverage. She doesn't have the money to pay for it. I'm good right now. I'm going to go ahead and take something out on her. And my cousin that helps the family business, we need to get something on him. So Friday afternoon, I went to Roderick's house and wrote extra coverage on him, wrote coverage on his sister, wrote coverage on his cousin, and wrote another policy on his mom to the tune of $300 a month in premium. $300 a month. Between him and Allison, it was $6,000 in premium, annual premium, in a 2-day period, from people that, one, were already clients of mine that reached back out because they knew I cared and I had a solution and I wasn't an insurance salesperson, and people that I called and follow up with who was an orphan client because of an agent of mine that was no longer in the business. And I just went that one extra step to follow up with them. And I'm just telling you right now, guys, it's like, that's the kind of stuff that happens when people know that, hey, this person is different from every other insurance agent I've ever talked to. Don't get so caught up and hung up on what do you say when they say this. Are there scripts for it? Yes. Do we have them? Yes. Can you sit there and read it like a robot script wise and end up making a difference in your appointment booking? Yeah, probably. It's not so much what you say as how you say it. Do you sound differently from everybody else they've talked to? Do they know that you actually give a crap and care about them? Do they know that, hey, there's something different about this person where I like them, I trust them, they're relatable, they're taking care of my family just like they would take care of theirs? And I say that in every single home I sit in. Hey, if somebody's sitting with my brother and sister right now, if somebody's sitting with my mom and dad right now, I would want them being treated the same way I'm treating you, because I'm not here to sell you anything. That's not my job. I'm not a salesperson. I'm not an insurance salesman. I'm not. I'm here to make sure that you have the best options based off of the need that you had that was going through your mind when you sent this card in asking for help. That's what I do. And I'm telling you right now, if you can take that mindset and implement that and relate that to people through the way you communicate to them, through the way that you talk to them, and the way that you help them see, hey, listen, here's the kind of stuff that's out there. Here's what I'm going to make sure you're taken care of so you don't have to deal with that. Here's how I'm going to see what you have. And if we can improve your situation, we will. If we can't, you're going to keep what you have. I'm not here to change anything. I'm not here to try and sell you on anything. Ultimately, here's the deal. You asked for help. I've got the best solution, the best options for you in America from 30 of the best companies out there. When I leave your house, if what you have is best for you, we're going to keep what you have. If there's better options for you, you're going to know what those better options, because I'm here to help you and your family make sure y'all are taken care of to the best value that your money can get for you. That's what I do. I'm not here to sell you. I'm not here to convince. I'm not here to talk you out of anything. My job is to make sure that you and your family have the best options available in life insurance to protect your family when the inevitable happens. And that's what we're going to do, even if it means keeping what you have. And guys, I can't tell you how much when people see that, hear that, realize that, it's a breath of fresh air. Like, thank God somebody's not trying to take advantage of me. Thank God somebody's actually here and they're going to do what's best for me, even if it means keeping what I have. People start to get wigged out and scared when you start talking about beating prices, getting them better rates, you know, saving them money. That's when people think, wait a minute, they're trying to make a sale. And that's when they put the walls up, and then everything else is just in and out. And hey, leave us your business card and we'll call you when we decide. And they're not going to follow up with you. But when you sound different, when they know that you're genuinely concerned about their family and you're doing for their family what you would want someone doing from yours, that is what's going to separate you from going out and killing it in insurance versus an average insurance agent struggling to make sales week after week after week and finally giving up and quitting. I'm just telling you right now, that's the testimony of my tenure in this business. I tried to make sales. I tried to convince. I tried to be a salesperson, and I struggled. And when I was able to flip the switch and realize it wasn't about convincing, it wasn't about selling, it was about being genuine. It was about others first. It was about making sure their needs were being met. It was about providing a solution after I connected with them. That's when business changed and took off. And that's when I started making money that I couldn't even start to count because I wasn't struggling anymore. Guess what it did for my confidence? It threw my confidence through the roof. Was it uncomfortable? Heck yeah, it was uncomfortable. But I had to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's when the magic started to happen. If you buck against discomfort and you run back to what's comfortable, you're going to stay in what's comfortable to you, which is brokenness. You're still going to struggle, but at least you're comfortable with the struggle that you've already had. It's when you start to make those adjustments and you start getting comfortable with new struggles outside of what you're used to, that's when you start to wonder, does this work or not? I'm here to tell you it works. You just got to push through it and keep going and get comfortable with that process. And the quicker and the more activity you do of being comfortable with discomfort, the more comfortable with the discomfort you get, and the more you see the solutions and the results that you want. So don't buck that. Don't run from that. Otherwise, you're going to stay in your comfortable broke ass world that you've been in for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, wishing something was different. And you're just churning in that over and over and over. And I'm here to tell you, there's a better way. There's a much brighter way. You just got to be willing to commit to it and then take that training along the way and learn how to get better. Don't try and sell. Don't try and convince. Connect with them and create a solution for them based off the need that they have. Once again, I say I'm going to keep it short and I go way over. So anyways, I hope that helps. I know we've had a couple of, specific objections that people have brought up and asked about. I know some of the more basic ones we've trained on over and over in the live phone call scripts, that dials that I've done in the past and trainings that we've done with that. If you're not sure where to find those, reach out. We'll point you in the right direction on those. We can definitely do more trainings like this, but I'm just telling you right now, guys, it's life-changing. It really is. And the difference between crushing it and killing it in the insurance and just being another average agent that eventually peters out and goes back to doing something else, the difference between those is not as big as you think. It's very small, it's very minute, and it's just, hey, am I willing to be uncomfortable, or am I willing to be comfortable with the discomfort, with the uncomfortableness, to the degree that I learn, I push through, and I'm just different from everybody else that they've ever talked to. I sound different, I talk different, I express different. They can tell I care. They can tell I'm genuine. I don't sit there and try and come back to everything that they say with my own answer. I shut up, I listen, I let them talk, and I create a solution. I connect with them and I create a solution. That's what's going to separate you from every other agent that struggles in this business and eventually quits. It's simple. You just got to learn, apply what you're learning, and go back and take that and that knowledge and go crazy with the activity on it. The quicker you do that, the better you get at it faster. Those that struggle with it, it's just they're hearing it, they're getting on these calls, it's going in here, but then Monday comes around and it's like, am I going to make dials today or not? Am I going to run appointments this week or not? And at the end of the day, if you're not going to do it, you're not going to get the results that you want. So I hope that helps. Mike, I don't know if you're still on here wrapping this up, but definitely want to just, let you guys know, hey, this thing works. It works, it works, it works. All you have to do is just learn, apply what you're learning, and go out week after week. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on the phones booking appointments because that's what I do. I'm not sitting here debating, thinking, who am I going to go see this week? What am I going to do? It's just ingrained in me. This is what I do. And if you'll treat it like that, I'm telling you guys, this thing will blow up for you faster than you can imagine. And we got a litany of resources on here to help you be and do what you want to be with this business. So hope that helps, guys. I'm going to wrap it up on my end. If you have any questions, please reach out to help. We're here any way we can. Love you guys. Kill it this week. Let's go crush it. And we'll look forward to seeing y'all in Houston here in another month or so.